that's fantastic. Hi everybody!
Hello!
Hello everybody!
Hello!
My name is Lar Whitty. I promise my whole set is not going to be a series of puns based on my last name. We all know there's nothing witty about puns, right? Yeah. So you've all heard about me. I'm the guy from up there. Yes, I am quite short. I did consider just doing my set from up there, but I noticed we had the stage here, so we should be okay. We should be okay. Can you all see me? Yeah? Fucking messy. Yeah. Right. So yeah, like I'm not actually used to being up this high. Like I can feel my self-confidence building just standing here. Can you feel it? No? I'm worried that you can, because I need you to think that I am not in any way confident about this. I would hate for you to think that I'm some experienced comedian who has a shit together. Nothing could be further from the truth. And just to illustrate that, I'd like to just quickly humanize myself to you and bring myself back below your level, where I belong. So just a bit about my life. When I was 8, one of my earliest memories was when my mother spent my communion money on a dirty weekend in Benidorm with my new daddy. The relationship didn't last too long, so I actually went most of my childhood without a father figure and my communion money. Yeah, after that, when I was 16, I had my very first girlfriend. She was beautiful. Really fell for her. She had a growth spurt about 2 months into the relationship, promptly left me. I now more accurately refer to her as my last girlfriend. When I was 24, and this was just a year ago, I was in New York City, and a homeless man approached me and he asked me, "Do you have $1?" And I said to him, I told him, quite honestly, I don't have $1. And he saw something in my eyes that made him reach into his pocket, take out $1 and offer it to me and tell me it gets better. Gets better. The worst part of that story is I took that man's dollar. It did not get any better. I blame a lot of that on my upbringing. I was born and raised in a small town called Darndale on the north side of Dublin. Has anybody heard of Darndale? Yeah. You can always tell a crowd by how many people say yes to that question. A few yeses. How best to explain Darndale? Most of you didn't say yes. Darndale's basically the opposite of Clontarf. We wouldn't have anyone named Fedora in Clontarf. He'd be known quite well as Fedo, maybe. My given name is Lawrence, and that's a foreign word where I come from, so hence Lar. Anything called a tar fight would definitely be burned on arrival, with the remains being fed to the horses. Fedora. It's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. I mean, well, it was imagined as this beautiful utopia, a slice of south side and the north side. That's what we pictured it as. There's all these beautiful street names. I grew up on Primrose Grove. There's a Marigold Avenue. There's a Buttercup Lane, Snowdrop Walk. It's beautiful. It sounds like a place in Santa's Village, you know? The closest thing we actually get to Santa's Village is this guy named Noel who sells drugs from a red sack down an alley. True story, true story. As well as that, like a couple of years ago, there was a lot of investment in the area, you know, a lot of attempt to regenerate the area, bring in a lot of new people and stuff. So we actually got some cool new things out of it. We got a huge Tesco. It's open till like 11 o'clock. It's fucking amazing. And with that as well, we have a Hilton Hotel now. A Hilton Hotel. How many places have a Hilton Hotel? It's right on the edge of town, and it still counts. It's right on the edge of town. It's right in the town limits. And we're really fucking proud of it. You can go there for a meal. You have friends coming in from out of town. Just send them there, you know, stay the night. The Hilton Hotel, the Hilton family, Paris and their people, they're not quite as proud of it as we are. If you go to the website, they don't list the address as Darndale so much as near Malahide. It's kind of like an ex-convict going to a job interview and telling them that his last 3 years of work experience happened near society. I'm probably being unnecessarily harsh on the place I come from. It did make me the man I am today, stand-up comedian. I am being unnecessarily harsh. I'm quite tired today. I've had a long day. I tried to get a cup of coffee before the show, and so I went over to Insomnia on Nassau Street. Has anyone ever been to Insomnia? Yeah. Well, that's the first time you've actually answered yes to a question, right? Yeah, so I went over to Insomnia. I didn't end up getting a cup of coffee. I was in the queue, and what happened instead was I ended up just like boiling over with rage at the name of the shop. Why on earth would you name an establishment, a seller of goods, after a clinical condition directly caused by the good that I'm trying to buy from you. You wouldn't see a tobacco shop named Asthma. I've yet to be in a bar that's so proud of liver failure that it calls itself Jaundice. And I'm not entirely, I don't remember this all that well, but I'm pretty sure my favourite sweet shop when I was a child was not called childhood obesity and slow onset depression. So I tried to take a step back and I just went next door and Costa Coffee instead. And I asked for a cup of coffee, I got handed my cup of coffee, and again, I was just pissed off again because they handed it to me in this tiny little cup, as wide as the Irish Sea, straight from the China set of the Queen of England. I asked for it in a regular man mug, not a saucer. So I didn't know what to do. I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Do I go back to Insomnia or stay in Costa Coffee? So I took the coffee and just threw it in the face of the stupid barista with a stupid Clontarf accent, walked out the door and went straight down to Jaundice for a pint to calm my nerves before the show. Again, I know I'm being unnecessarily harsh on a coffee shop that just picked the wrong name on the wrong day. I'm being unnecessarily harsh because I'm quite tired. I'm quite tired because I'm quite stressed. I haven't slept in about 3 weeks. And I'm stressed because I have a trip coming up. I'm going to Spain next weekend to visit some friends. Flying out on Friday, I hope. And the problem there is that I have a crippling fear of flying. Does anybody here have a fear of flying? Nobody? Fair play to you bastards. You're exactly the type of people I'm going to be talking about just right now. There's a lot of stupid questions you get when you have a fear of flying. The main one being, what are you so afraid of? It's like, I'm afraid of fucking flying. I'm afraid of dying in a horrible, fiery, premature death just because I wanted a weekend away in Spain. I'm afraid of fucking crashing. I'm afraid on the plane when we go through turbulence because it signifies that we might be about to plummet out of the sky and crash. I'm afraid when the seatbelt sign pops on, signifying that we might be about to hit a spot of turbulence and crash. I'm afraid when I look out the window for a nice relaxing moment with a nice view and all I can see is the engine and the thought goes through my head that a bird is about to fly right into it, have it explode, have the plane tip on its side, plummet to the ground and, shockingly enough, crash. And another thing you get from people when you tell them this is, there's nothing to be afraid of. And they offer you all these ideas on how you can help yourself. So here, I took some of them on. I tried hypnotherapy. You know what it gave me? Nightmares. Nightmares that keep me up at night about flying and crashing. The nightmares that keep me up and keep me dependent on cups of coffee from fucking insomnia. I tried learning as much as I could about planes. I rented books from the library. I looked up articles from pilots. I know everything there is to know about flying. I know exactly how you build a Boeing 747. I know how easy it is to fly a Boeing 747. I know how easy it is to crash a Boeing 747. It didn't help. One thing that almost helped was when my friend right here suggested that I try taking something. Lar, have you taken anything for this? And I said, what could you possibly take? Is there a pill to delete your fear? Yeah, probably. Okay, I'll definitely give that a go. That sounds great. I'm not usually the type, but I'll definitely try something out. And I gave that a go, and it worked, I thought, swimmingly well. I was relaxed before the flight. I don't remember too much, but I think I might have slept through most of it. I do remember a lot of vivid colours. The only problem is, and I'm quite stressed about this now, is that I now cannot find a single airline. I'm banned from Ryanair, and I cannot find a single airline which has no written rule about not flying under the influence of MDMA. Which is a real problem because I had a really good direct line with this guy named Noel who was selling it to me on the red bag. That's all from me, folks. Thank you.